Alrighty, guys, check this out. So we're about to get into Power Hour in 5 minutes from now, and the markets are continuing to truck along. Let me tell you, it's green everywhere I'm looking. The S&P's up 1.4%, the Russell's up 1.7%, we have the NASDAQ up 1.8%, and the Dow's up 0.9%. As the VIX is back under 20, it is down almost 7% on the day. So we briefly have to cover what's been going on in these markets. Nothing too crazy because honestly, not much has changed from my previous video, but I do want to focus more on 3 stocks that are absolutely exploding today. So if you all find value, hit the like button, subscribe, make sure to join my Patreon, and get yourself 5 stocks from Moomoo. Use my link down below, deposit $100, and you guys could get up to 5 stocks, each of which could be valued up to $3,500. So let's talk. As of now, again, we're about to get into Power Hour in 4 minutes. It's about to happen, guys. It's coming right around the corner. And it looks like SPY is still well above the moving averages here on the 20-day chart, and it's still breaking out of the wedge as well. Very clear. You guys can see that. And we're in real time testing $457.50. And if you guys remember from my previous video today, that is where I put my alert. And look what happened. We just hit 457.59. That was about 10-15 minutes ago, and that is where the sell-off started to occur. Now we're down about almost 70 cents from that peak that we just hit, again, about 10-15 minutes ago. And I'm not saying we're collapsing now. All I'm saying is we hit that resistance, we're seeing some selling pressure, and we are starting to come back down to the 180 SMA on the intraday chart here. And again, this is SPY, right, which tracks the S&P 500. So if this breaks the 180 SMA, right, we could easily sell off into close during Power Hour. And let me tell you, Power Hour is crazy, guys. A lot of crazy stuff happens in Power Hour. We get a lot of violent moves to the upside, to the downside. So don't be surprised if we either close on a huge downswing or we end up ripping and maybe going above 460 into close. You know, it could go either way at this point. So watch out for that on SPY. And again, tomorrow morning, we have the CPI data coming out for January, which is going to be huge when it comes to the stock market. So keep your eyes on the intraday here on SPY. And when it comes to Triple Q, same thing, right? We rallied to 366. I believe I did have my alert at 365 on this one. Excuse me. And now we're seeing a bit of selling pressure. We dropped down about $1. We're getting back towards the 180 moving average on this intraday chart. And if that breaks to the downside, like I said with SPY, same thing applies with Triple Q. This could easily sell off into close. And something that's just as easily to happen, it could happen. Again, it could go either way. We could end up bouncing off the 180 SMA and then ripping into close. And who knows, maybe this goes 367, 368. Maybe it goes 370 at close. Who knows? It's possible. It's possible with how crazy volatile these markets have been, even though the VIX is now hovering around 20. And I've said before, guys, if the VIX gets back into 18, 19, the teens in general, that is good for the bulls. If we get a spike back into the mid-20s on the VIX, right? High 20s, 30s, that's not good for the bulls. So what do you think about the markets? Do you think this rally is legit? Is it a bull trap? And like I mentioned in my previous video, I still think this could very well be a bull trap. I'm not completely buying this rally yet because we're still at major moving average resistances on the longer time frames here on the 4-hour on Triple Q and on SPY. We're under the 4-hour 180 SMA. So keep your eyes on those time frames. Very important. Now let's talk about some stocks that are ripping today. Number one is Nvidia. And take a look. Nvidia and AMD, for that matter, both of these are at critical resistance points, which this could be a bull trap as well. But if we take out this major level of resistance, this could fly. And we have earnings coming up in a week on Nvidia, roughly. Exactly a week. Next Wednesday, Nvidia is reporting earnings after market hours. And let me tell you, if they do well with earnings, which judging off their previous couple of reports, the stock has gone ballistic after their report. And I'm not saying that's necessarily going to happen again, but if history repeats itself, hey, this could break out of the 180 SMA, and it might be clear blue skies ahead. I mean, this could go from 265, which is right by the moving average where we're at literally right now. And mind you, we're up 13 bucks on the day, up 5.5%. If we take out 265, let me put my alert there very quickly before I forget. There we go, guys. We're probably going to go, the next gap to fill is 285. That was resistance, middle of January. And then from there, we might be going 300 plus. I mean, and this could happen in a day or two. And I'm not telling you guys to gamble on the stock heading into earnings. I'm not telling you to buy short-term calls and try and time it. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying if we go into earnings and we're still at about 265, 270, they have a good report, maybe we could get some price action after that, and maybe we could catch a move, and it might be going towards 300, like I said, depending on earnings, guidance, all that good stuff. So that is what I'm seeing right now. Excuse me, on AMD or Nvidia, and it's the same thing with AMD. AMD is actually, I think it's peaking above the moving average. Take a look here. Yeah, this is already peaking above the 180 moving average on this 4-hour chart, and it's already taking out the highs from last week. The highs from last week were around 130, 131, 132 roughly, and today we got up to about 133. So we're slowly peaking out, we're breaking out, but we're just not fully there yet. And I'm noticing an inverse head and shoulders on AMD here, kind of, right? You guys could see that as well, maybe a little bit, right? You see the inverse head and shoulders. If this plays out, AMD might be going 150 in the short term, maybe 155, 160, although that could be pushing it a bit. But I'm just saying over time, that is where the inverse head and shoulders, the right shoulder and the pattern would end up completing. So keep your eyes on AMD. And let me go see, is there an inverse head and shoulders on Nvidia? Yeah, I mean, I guess you can make a case for that as well. It looks a bit, I mean, it's not the cleanest looking head and shoulders, but you might say it is one nonetheless. So keep your eyes on these. Nvidia AMD, that could gain some steam here in the short term, or very well could be a bull trap. We have to wait for the confirmation, and we have to see if we get it. And if we do, we'll be able to take that trade. So that's Nvidia AMD. The next one here is DXCM. This one's Dexcom. We've talked about this before, and I'm also noticing now that I'm looking at this, an inverse head and shoulders on Dexcom. Take a look at this, guys. We have the left shoulder right here, head right here, and then we got the right shoulder. And this stock, like Nvidia and AMD, today it's doing pretty well. It's up 5%, up over 20 bucks a share. And mind you, the stock is a $440 stock. And I'm noticing a clear breakout above the 50 moving average. And let me tell you, that's huge considering the 50 SMA has been resistance for a couple of weeks on this 4-hour chart. Now that we broke out of it with earnings coming up, wait, hold on. Earnings tomorrow. Wow, after market hours tomorrow. This is very important. With earnings tomorrow, guys, we're breaking out. This has a long ways to go, especially if earnings are strong, guidance is strong, which could be a reason why the stock's moving up. Maybe traders, investors are pricing in strong earnings, and they're trying to get in before the breakout after earnings. I'm just speculating. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just kind of speculating here, right? And seeing what's going on. I'm kind of thinking out loud, right? That is what I do on this channel after all, isn't it, guys? And if you all enjoy my videos, again, hit the like button, subscribe. That really helps me out. And drop me a comment. Let me know your thoughts and get yourself 5 stocks from Moomoo linked down below. So where could Dexcom go? I mean, if this inverse head and shoulders plays out, I have it going to 500 minimum, right? 500 was resistance middle of January, which wasn't that long ago, about literally 4 weeks ago. So if we go from 450, which is where we are now roughly, to 500, that's going to be a move of anywhere from 8 to 10%, depending on when you enter, if you enter, right? And I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not telling you to buy. I'm not a financial advisor. Again, I'm just here thinking out loud. That's what I'm thinking for Dexcom. So watch out for it. Ticker symbol DXCM. And the last one is none other than Facebook, guys. Take a look at Facebook today, or Meta Platforms, whatever you want to call it. Facebook is up almost 6% today, and it's not full-on reversing quite yet. It's not like, oh, this is for sure the bottom. Nobody knows where the bottom's going to be. But in the short term, it seems like we're getting some heavy buying pressure right now. Again, we're above, we're slowly breaking out, right? We're above this EMA, although we're under the main SMAs I look at, 50 and the 180, right? I always talk about those. We're under those, but we're slowly gaining momentum out of the EMA. So in the short term, where could this go? I mean, your guess is as good as mine, but judging on how beaten down Facebook has been, could it see a relief rally now? And I mean, yes, I think it could. It's up 6% on the day. RSI still very oversold. Obviously, volume has been very high in these past couple of days since they reported earnings. Could we get a move maybe towards 250, 260, and a sigh of relief rally? Absolutely, guys. And from there, we might continue the downtrend if we meet those moving averages and get rejected. But in the short term, there could be 10, 20, 30 bucks a share upside from where we are now. Again, considering how oversold this thing is. It still is, right? And it went down 25% in a freaking day, guys. This could easily rally. So you all know, especially for my Patreon, you get all my buys, sells, all that good stuff, right? I am in Facebook. I recently bought more. I think that was yesterday. I bought more Facebook at 218. Look at that timely buy, guys. I bought more at 218, and now my average cost is right around 235. So we're pretty much at my average cost right now as we're trading at around 233. So I initially bought at 248, bought more at 238, bought some at 218, and if it goes down to $200, 205, that's where I'm going to buy my next batch of shares. But for now, I'm sitting on my 235 average. I'm sitting on my shares, and I'm just being patient, guys. There's no need for me to rush and build my position in a week. I mean, I want to build my Facebook position over probably the next couple of months. I'm comfortable buying a little bit, waiting a couple weeks, buying more. I'm fine with that. So that's kind of what I'm doing now. Stocks that are exploding, some thoughts on the market. So if you all found value, hit the like button, subscribe, drop me a comment, let me know your thoughts, and make sure to join my Patreon if you want all my moves, Discord access, morning videos. That's linked down below. And you guys could also get 5 stocks for Moomoo. Don't forget to do that. Get your free money, link down below. Use that link, deposit $100, and you could get up to 5 stocks, each of which could be valued up to $3,500. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Get your money, join the Patreon down below. Peace out.